Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hey, Damon, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We are doing great. How can we help?
So, I've made a decision about 2 years ago that haunts me up until today.
Okay.
Where me and my family, we were renting, and we decided that we were going to purchase a house together, and we all put maybe $10,000 each to get $50,000 to get the house. And the house was $420 and at a 2.8%. So ever since we moved to the house, I haven't lived there because I was still going to school and I was still commuting, spending maybe up to $500 per month in gas. And we decided that we made a verbal agreement that we were going to continue to pay even though we don't live there anymore. And I realized how bad of a decision that was. And I want to tell him that I can't continue to pay this anymore, but knowing how my family is, I know Thanksgiving is not going to look the same for me if I tell them this. And I don't know where to go, and I haven't been able to sleep. I just stare in space all day. I don't know what to do.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so when you say your family, is this like your parents and siblings, or who does this? What makes up this?
Parents and siblings.
Parents and siblings. And
is someone renting this house right now since you all aren't living in it?
We all are living in it, but we all put together to contribute to the mortgage and the bills. But in the past year, I haven't lived there, and I've been paying religiously nonstop every month towards the bills, $600 and another $100 towards utilities, but $600 towards the mortgage.
And so you're renting somewhere else?
I'm living with a friend because it's closer to my job.
Okay.
But I'm not able to save, and my student loans are about to kick in, and I have credit cards, and I just don't know what to do.
Well, sure you do. You know exactly what to do. You said you're in a fog. I'm using my words. You said you just stare into nothingness all day long. I mean, this is absolutely shutting you down. You're not going to be able to live forever with your friend. You're going to get kicked out of that eventually. This is slowly breaking you down. You know exactly what to do. You have to sit down with your parents and your siblings and say, I know I gave you a verbal agreement, but here's where my life is. And here's how I got there. Student loans, you show them everything. I can't afford to pay you $700 a month. And they're going to say, well, then why don't you live here? And you go, I don't want to live here. And you're going to tell them all the reasons why you don't live there. And it's going to suck. But you're going to have to choose your own livelihood. And I mean as in living, well-being. You're going to have to choose you. And you're going to have a big boy conversation and own it. And if they get mad at you for a while and Thanksgiving sucks, I would rather have a sucky Thanksgiving or 2 or 3 than a sucky life.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's thinking. And I also think it's fair because on their end they're thinking, yeah, well, we've agreed to this, and
I understand that too.
And you're breaking that. But Damon, to Ken's point, it has to. This doesn't sustain this. You can't live like this. So I think that even saying, I understand, I'm backing out of what I said. But I don't even have I don't have the ability. I don't have the ability anymore to do this. And so if there's something else I can do to maybe help, but I think too, Damon, I think owning it is a very humble thing to do. And I would do that, but also for your sake. And I would pray your parents, which I always think the best about relationship. I'm always I'm sure your parents are wonderful.
Oh, they're great.
So you would pray.
Thanksgiving's going to be wonderful.
You would pray that your parents would say, yeah, we see this in our son. We see the numbers in the situation, and we don't want to put that on our son. How old are you?
I'm 30.
How old were you when you did this deal?
28.
Okay, so it was just 2 years ago. Do they find it, was there going to be a point that you guys would have this paid off and would split the equity? What was the plan?
The plan was, because we moved to America, so the plan was just to have somewhere to live and have a family home.
Yeah, and everyone contribute. Will this put them with your parents? Do you know the math of when you do choose to stop paying, will they still be able to cover the payment?
There are enough adults in the house where they will be able to cover the payment. If I stop paying, they will be able to pay like maybe $200 extra. And, they'll just have to adjust their spending habits.
Yeah.
But one of my siblings already cut communications with me, attempting to have a conversation about this.
Oh.
And that's the kind of person they are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I don't make light of that, but you have no choice. You either choose to not have an awkward situation with them, or you choose to have an awful life.
And Damon, and can I say, if they choose to cut off communication with you because of this, that's their choice.
Yeah.
You can't control that. And would be one of the most painful, terrible scenarios when there's fractured relationships in life. I think it's just, there's grief in that. It's terrible.
It is.
But you didn't choose that. You still want relationship with them. You just can't make a $700 payment to a house that you don't live in anymore. And that's what you're asking to be out of, not out of the family. And so if they choose to take a different route, sadly, that is on them.
Yeah.
Where did you guys
right
move?
now-
Where did you guys move from? Where are you guys from originally?
We moved from New Jersey to New York.
But before, you said we came to America.
Oh, we moved from the Caribbean.
Okay.
Jamaica.
Okay. Because I do know too, that certain level of loyalty in your word and certain cultures, right, holds way more weight than others, right? So I know that sometimes is at play as well. But I would own what I signed up for, and that I can't fulfill it. But them choosing to not communicate with you anymore, that's their stuff, right? And if it's not this, and if those are the kind of people they are, I hate to say it, there's going to be something else in life. You marry someone they don't agree with, you raise your kids a certain, you know what I mean? Like, eventually that happens. But I'm so sorry.
Damien, you aren't a bad person. I think you were calling for permission. We don't have the power to give it to you, but I will tell you that we're in agreement on what you should do, and so are you. And you need to do this. You're not a bad person for doing this. And I think you need to give yourself some forgiveness for not living up to what you agreed to, and knowing that you got to make a different decision, which is the right decision. So do it and move forward.